What's up, everybody? It's Muka here. It is a new season in parallel. That means we get a new Battle Pass card. No big patch notes for this one, so we're going just over the card. I'm going to jump right into it. The card's name is Bloodhound Transport. It is a zero cost unit with 0 attack and 1 health. It is a vehicle that has battle ready. So an odd card to see at the surface. You may not see the value in this card, but I'm going to argue that it's actually quite a good card, and I believe that it will see a lot of play in the future of Parallel, especially this season. So Bloodhound Transport is a zero cost 0/1 vehicle. So what cards synergize with this? There is the Crimson Fleet Machinist. You also have the Red Sand Scout. Some of these cards synergize really well with the Bloodhound Transport, and that'll give you kind of an idea of where I think this card will fit in and what will make this card good. Now, in regards to how it fits into all three Paragons, I've done a little bit of very surface level testing, so I don't know if it's concrete, but this is what I think so far. What Paragon I think pairs with this the best? It is, old reliable Queen Kathy.
Greetings from Mars.
I think she will do the best with this card. Why is that the case? Kathy is a Paragon that is very fueled by progressive, strong, early tempo turns. So more units doing more things, always really good with Kathy in the game, and you want to start off strong. We've seen this happen in tournaments before where Kathy can't start off as strong as it needs to, and it becomes lackluster and maybe loses. But Bloodhound Transport could be a card that works really well with this. A play that I've done that I really like is Crimson Fleet Machinist and Bloodhound Transport. You can play the Machinist down as the first unit, play the Bloodhound Transport as your second unit. It gets the Catherine +1/+1 buff, and it gets the 1 health buff from Crimson Fleet Machinist. Now you end your turn 1 with a 1/2 and a 1/3 with battle ready. It sounds like not much, but it's a lot of early pressure. Your opponent plays a unit with 2 health and you have a PS8 in hand. Suddenly you're killing a shield pod or killing one unit, trading a bit better, and you can build your board. It is a big piece. I think it can do a lot. On top of that, Bloodhound Transport synergizes really well with like any of the units on board, because you can play it first and buff an important unit like a Bannerman, and then play like a PS8, and that buffs that. You'll have a 3/4 Bannerman right away, and the Bloodhound Transport doesn't really do anything, but it facilitates a stronger Bannerman. You could even pair it with any other card and max use your energy, play the Bloodhound Transport, and use that to just attack to maybe poke, get that 1 damage. It gives like the feel of a gunslinger, but it lives, and it's a bit more. It's a bit stronger in my opinion. I don't know. I like it in Catherine a lot. I think there's a lot of synergy there, and I think that'll be the biggest place that you'll see this card being played. Moving on to the next Paragon, we have Armored Division Headquarters ADHQ. I think this card will synergize really well with the Red Sand Scout for my vehicle lovers, as well as the Crimson Fleet Machinist. You do not get the Catherine buff, so you can't do like your shenanigans with like Machinist and Bloodhound Transport on like turn 1. But what really works is like Red Sand Scout attacking. It has evasive. It is also a 1 cost 1/1 vehicle, so it can attack, and then you can reveal or charge a card from your bank, and then you can play your Bloodhound Transport, and it gets buffed if there's a Machinist on your board, right? So now you've made it a 1/2. And the Red Sand Scouts, if you have multiple of them, you can like multiple buff and then play this, and it'll get as many cards were revealed, it stacks. So you can stack it for the transports as well as with the Fleet Machinist. And on top of that, it's a vehicle, so ADHQ's passive ability will give a random bonus, like 1 attack, 1 health, shielded, armed, evasive, but you get a bunch of stuff. So you're basically another unit for you to roll with that can really help. So ADHQ, I did play some of it, and it was fun and it worked. I don't think is as consistent or as aggressive as something Catherine brings. So Catherine, I think, still edges out with this card, but it has a place. Now with Lemieux, this card isn't as advantageous. Where I saw this being useful for me is if I was going for these really wide board kind of builds with a longbow support carrier, and you would go for these really wide builds, and then you could go. It almost felt like a tabula rasa in that deck, where you would play a fire support base, and then suddenly you can drop like 2 Bloodhound Transports and just start trading them in. If you had like a fire support base, you could go like Master Poisoner, drop a Bloodhound Transport and swing and just kill with that. So it was like you needed fire support base to really enable this card, or maybe tactical display if you want to go down that route. But aside from that, there's not much you can do to really synergize with this Lemieux, and I don't it felt the weakest in there. If I had to rank them, Catherine is by far the best with this card because of how strong it synergizes with her passive and the Crimson Fleet Machinist. Secondly, I'm going to give it to the Armor Division Headquarters because it synergizes with the Red Sand Scout and the Crimson Fleet Machinist as well. And then third place is with Lemieux because it does synergize with Crimson Fleet Machinist. There's very little in the Lemieux Paragon suite that will buff the attack of the Bloodhound transport and allow you to enable or facilitate like the plays that you want to make with this card. So I think this card is really good. It will see a decent amount of play, if not a lot of play. I don't know what the perfect build will be. I'm going to actually be exploring that. And one of my goals in 2025 is to start giving you guys more deck builds to talk about and explain and show you how they work. So stay tuned. There will be a lot more of those going forward. But for now, that's my thoughts on Bloodhound Transport. I'm very excited to see it. If you have videos of you using the card and stuff, send it my way. Tag me and whatever. And if you enjoyed this video, just make sure you subscribe and thumbs up. This is an exciting card to see on the Markolian suite. I know some of you may be upset that Marco's getting another good card, but it is what it is. I think what's next down the Battle Pass line is an Augencore card and maybe a Universal card, so maybe we'll see some flavor spiced up there. But for now, Bloodhound Transport looks like a card that will see some play and helps enable the rest of the Markolian aggressive suite. So that's that. This is Muka, and I will see you guys later.